Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Stephen. I'm a careers advisor. Welcome to our webinar on outdoor pursuits careers. My colleague here, Al, works for the Outward Bounds Trust, and he's going to be delivering a presentation to you this afternoon on outdoor instructor careers and different ways into a career in the outdoor pursuits. It's actually a sector that's worth 481 million to the Welsh economy and accounts for something like 8,000 jobs, so there's a lot of opportunities within the sector. As you can see, there's a chat box at the bottom there, so what I would encourage you to do as we go through the webinar is put any questions into the chat box, and we'll try and answer things at the end of the webinar. We've got quite a lot to cover, so we will have an opportunity for people to have answers to those questions at the end of the webinar. Anything that we don't manage to answer today, we will email answers to the individual schools and colleges who will ask the questions. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Al now, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what the Outward Bound Trust do and outdoor instructor careers.
And thank you, Steve. Good afternoon, everybody. So as Steve says, I'm going to talk about the Outward Bound Trust to begin with and give you an idea about who we are and what we do, and then I'll link that into careers in the outdoor industry and how you might have some ideas about getting into that industry. Okay, to start with, we'll show you a little bit more about what we do as an organisation. Okay, so that gives you a bit of a flavour of Outward Bound, and so to talk you through that a little bit more, Outward Bound was established in 1941, something that we're very proud of. It started here in Aberdyfi, was the first of the Outward Bound centres, and we're now trust-wide across the UK with 6 residential centres and internationally across the globe too. So there's lots of opportunity as an Outward Bound instructor. We believe very heavily in that history, and we structure our organisation around our belief and our mission that you can see on your screens there. So the belief came from one of our founding members, Kurt Hahn, who started Gordonston School up in Scotland, working with the Duke of Edinburgh as one of his original pupils. He brought his thoughts and knowledge and ideas on education down here to Aberdyfi and started the Aberdyfi Centre as a sea school with the idea of encouraging young sailors to learn through their experiences and challenges and better themselves. And so our mission is very aligned to what we do today as it was back in 1941, to unlock the potential in young people, particularly learning through adventures in the wild. We operate to a set of core values, so we believe in that undiscovered potential in people and trying to help folk live through experiences that they can learn about themselves with the power and intensity of learning through that adventure, so that they can hopefully translate that learning into normal everyday life and help better themselves and their direction in the future. And we do that through appreciating the balance between risk and rewards and getting out and having real adventures in real environments and trying to enjoy the wilderness that the UK has to offer. And we try and underpin all that with a spirit of respect and compassion so that everybody is treated as equals, and hopefully we encourage people to go away looking at their wider communities and everybody within those. And the way the Trust goes about this as an organisation, as you can see from this model, that in the middle there is the impact to young people. And this is what we're really trying to achieve, the most lifelong lasting impact that we can get with young people in a really positive way. And we do that through our people, our process and our place. So our people is about having qualified, experienced instructors and really strong support teams to support instructors getting young people out into the adventurous environments that we work in. So linking into our places, the wilderness that we offer. So our residential centres are in Wales, Scotland, the Lake District, in the UK. And they're all in fantastic locations that offer great access to wild environments. But we're not just trying to go to these wild environments and let the experience speak for itself. We're trying to use our process and the real deliberate learning to help folk think about what they're experiencing in those environments, how they're working together, and then take that on and translate that, as I said, back into home life. So we're very much about learning, but this is our classroom, the wild rivers, the mountains and the sea. And to give you another idea of that is a short video to show you a bit more. Okay, so you can see from the video we're really trying to achieve some quality learning with young people in these environments, and we do that with our staff teams in terms of how we structure those. So to give you a bit more information about the role of instructor, an instructor is very much, or the instructors are very much the people that are facilitating that learning and helping the development of those young people, helping them on their journey whilst they're with us, but then translating that back to home. So their job is very much about being out in the wild, using their experience and qualifications, going on expeditions and trying to link journeys and link those adventures through journeys out in wild places. We obviously pay people to do that, and we have an 8-point instructor scale, with point 1 to 3 being the junior end of the instructor scales, and a very much tick box scale. So people move through those scales by gaining qualifications, ticking the box and moving on. And once you move into the higher scales in our senior instructor roles, then senior instructors tend to be people that have got more experience of the outdoor industry and have progressed through a broad range of qualifications. And they can move by continuing their own professional development and using their learning to link back into us as an organisation and ultimately the young people that we're working with. And people can come in and start on those schemes anywhere depending on their experience and qualifications. And to help folk enter those instructor scales and understand how we work as an organisation, we have 2 schemes, an instructor development scheme and a graduate development scheme, both aimed at helping people that have a real interest and a passion for the outdoors into getting into the role of an instructor. And so instructor development schemes are aimed at folk without an academic qualification but might have some experience of attending clubs or some basic qualification levels, and they're trying to get started in the outdoors so they can come and work at the centres and be surrounded by our instructors and the wider teams that can give you these experiences to get out and learn and improve the trade of being an outdoor instructor. And the graduate scheme is slightly different and is aimed at people that have an outdoor education degree. So they've already been away and done some further studies and got some learning about the outdoor education industry. And we'll hear a little bit more about that scheme later on with one of our graduates coming to talk to you. So that's very much about the instructional role. We obviously, with 6 residential centres, have wider teams of the catering, housekeeping and facilities teams, and so jobs on offer in the other areas of the organisation that again put you in and immerse you in our world and the experiences that our staff can give you working alongside people. So those other areas and support roles are interesting roles to come and join the team and be part of, to start getting your foot in the door and working as part of the team with on-the-job training. We encourage our instructional staff to keep that professional development moving, and so we support that with training credits and training days. So we actually pay people to go out and continue their training with a real understanding that the more people are staying current in their qualifications, the more they can bring that back into how we're moving forward as an organisation. And then we recognise that we want to be an employer of choice, and so to do that we have additional benefits for all members of staff across the team, from pensions, assurances, healthcare packages, everything that you might need in a permanent role for everybody across those teams. Okay, so to give you an idea of those qualifications towards an instructor and what the Outward Bound Trust is looking for, we look at these national governing body awards. And on the bottom of the slide there, it tells you some of our core qualifications that we look for. So the first 2, summer mountain leader and rock climbing instructor, are qualifications with mountain training. There's British canoeing, who have coaching award scheme and personal awards, star awards that you can gain. The Royal Yachting Association with their dinghy instructor and cruising schemes. And to entry level for an instructor, you need a level of experience within the industry already. So to think about starting in this industry, it's really thinking about how you might move towards gaining those qualifications and what you're doing to try and achieve and start on some of those, start on that journey. Once you're on that journey, you get some of these fantastic opportunities. This is where we spend most of our time, waking up in the clouds and the weather and the wonderful environment around our centres. We'll just go to another short video. Okay.
Climber ready?
Lean back.
Oh.
So some more good insights into the world that we work in. And now to give you some ideas about how you can achieve this. If you're interested in this as a journey for yourselves, then the way to start is to get out and have a look for yourself. There's many trainee and apprenticeship programs that are being set up out there. There's lots of different college courses in outdoor education, outdoor pursuits, and as we talked about with the graduates, there's further pathways into degrees and higher to think about formal academic qualifications. There are several instructor training programs from instructor development programs like ourselves, or there's really good operations, outdoor partnership, for example, is somebody and their pathways to employment, to an area to go and have a look and make the links as to how you might get on the first steps of those journeys. To give you a few more ideas, there's some links on the next slides. But ultimately, it's about you doing your research and getting involved, getting out to those clubs, finding what's available in your areas, looking at what college and universities might be around you or you might be interested in working through. There's lots of information on our website. As I said, the Outdoor Partnership is a good site to go to. Organisations like Plasmeni have an instructor training programme where you can pay to go and train as an outdoor instructor. And then the Institute of Outdoor Learning is a fantastic website. It's a great resource for all sorts of things to do with the outdoor industry, including a great jobs page, which is a good place to go and have a look and see what employers are asking for, what the sort of salary ranges might be for the qualifications you might have or need. So get involved, have a look, have some fun. And this slide is really just to encourage you to think and look around you and think of people that you've seen as successful people in life. So when you look at somebody and see and think, that's somebody I really want to be like, they're really successful, that's what I want to do. It's about understanding that that's just the tip of the iceberg. And what you don't see is all that stuff underneath, that the determination to keep going, that the mindset to think, I can do this and keep working on things. To use the support that you have around you, and ultimately that self-belief in yourself and the resilience to keep going at it. If it's something you want to do, you can achieve it. And to give you an example of this, we've got one of our graduates who can talk to us in just a second. Our graduate scheme, for example, is something for people that have an outdoor education degree. We offer a full salary to support them to train, and I'll just introduce you to Boo here, who's going to talk to you in just a second. As you can see on the slide, we support that ongoing training and development to help people get on the ladder as outdoor instructors and to build that portfolio of qualifications and experience. We understand that being in the adventure world, people often want to go and experience their own adventures, and so as an organisation we really support that, because we know that if people are experiencing their own adventures, then that helps with their motivation and their learning to bring that back into us as an organisation. Okay, and this last slide just gives you an idea of that kind of graduate package that's on offer. So we offer a starting salary with all the benefits we talked about before, we offer equipment, holidays, everything that you would expect with permanent employment is presented for the graduate scheme. And to give you an idea of what that's really like and Boo's journey into this scheme, I'll hand you over to Boo to hear from her.
So I started my career in the outdoors at probably a relatively young age, but I didn't know what I wanted to be, and when I was in school I thought, I want to become a PE teacher, and then I realised, I might want to do a bit more than just PE rather than just the netball and stuff like that. So I went and carried on to college and did an outdoor education diploma there, and then carried on to uni to do an outdoor degree. But still, after 6 years of doing that, I still didn't know what I really wanted to do. And it was only when I went away on a holiday that I finally was like, actually, this is what I want to do. And it's the outdoors, it was Wales, and it was great, and I want other people to experience that. So I carried on and thought, I'm going to do a trainee scheme. So I did that for a year, and that led to me joining Outward Bound. And yeah, now I'm here, progressing my career in the outdoors, basically. But it's not, you don't need to know necessarily what you want to do, but have an idea of what you might want to do. So I had a passion for the outdoors, so I just carried that on, and then I finally found a job that I enjoy doing. So yeah, it led me to where I am now.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Boo. That's fantastic. Okay, and just some final thoughts. Just changing the slide back to the... So just thinking about, as Boo was just talking, it's about what you do with your journey, and it's about how you think about starting that everybody starts somewhere, and so just looking and thinking and doing some research, and if you're interested in it, asking some questions, having a look around, seeing what's available for you. Everybody starts somewhere, and it's just a question of chipping away at it and slowly moving through. And everybody started somewhere. We've all got there from where we are today from somewhere else. So keep going if you're interested in it. Please ask some questions, and over to you. Over to Steve.
Thank you very much, Al. That was very, very interesting. There are a couple of questions there. Somebody's asking, could they have a copy of the PowerPoint?
Yes, I'm sure we can make that available. Yes, absolutely.
Kevin's asking, are the jobs seasonal?
It's a good question, Kevin. So the jobs at Outward Bound are permanent, they're permanent instructor roles, but certainly at the start of your career you might start in seasonal positions, and lots of people will move from different seasons, different countries, different organisations in order to work through those seasonal jobs, and they can continue as long as high as you want to take those within the industry. So there's a wide range of contracts that are available, both in the UK and internationally. So lots of opportunity, and often quite a good way to start, whether that's a trainee scheme to start with or a trainee contract in a seasonal position, and just get your experience and your qualifications under your belt to start with.
Thank you. Okay, Al did talk a little bit about the outdoor partnership and its involvement with clubs across Wales. Especially with regards to volunteering in the outdoors. So I did go and see Owain Williams from the Outdoor Partnership last week.
Owain explained that the Outdoor Partnership works with people from Wales to take up outdoor activities as a lifelong pursuit. Felly, mi eglurodd Owain fod y partneriaeth Awyr Agored yn gweithio gyda pobl Cymru i gymryd rhan mewn gweithgareddau Awyr Agored fel ymgyrch gydol oes. The projects develop confidence, skills and team working that can provide the stepping stones to new opportunities for healthier lives. Mae'r prosiectau maen nhw'n weithio arnyn nhw yn datblygu'r hyder, y sgiliau a'r gwaith tîm sy'n gallu rhoi cam tuag at gyfleoedd newydd a bywydau iachach. They encourage outdoor pursuits, club members to engage in volunteering and are able to contribute to fund courses for club members. Felly maen nhw'n annog clybiau gweithgareddau Awyr Agored i wirfoddoli, a mae ganddyn nhw gyllid i ariannu cyrsia i aelodau'r clybiau. Owen explained it's a great way to get started in the industry. Mi eglurodd o bod hyn yn ffordd wych o gael troed i fewn i'r diwydiant. He also told me that many young people get into work through networks that they develop whilst they're doing voluntary work. Fel oedd Owen yn esbonio, mi ddwedodd o bod yna lawer o bobl yn datblygu'r rhwydweithiau sydd yn arwain at gyfleoedd drwy wneud gwaith gwirfoddol. Owen's advice to young people who were looking to get their foot in the door in the industry was to look for work in the outdoor centres, doing anything really from catering to marketing or administration. Being involved with a club and working towards outdoor qualifications such as a climbing instructor, certificate, mountain leader, water sports will show the employer that they've got the potential to progress within the sector as instructors. Roedd cyngor Owain i bobl ifanc sydd yn ceisio cael eu traed i fewn i'r diwydiant yn awgrymu chwilio am waith mewn canolfannau Awyr Agored, gan wneud unrhyw beth o arlwyo i farchnata a gweinyddu. Bydd yn aelodi hefo clwb a gweithio tuag at gymwysterau Awyr Agored yn bethau fel tyst ysgrif, hyfforddwr dringo, arweinydd mynydd, chwaraeon dŵr ac yn y blaen, yn dangos i'r cyflogwr bod ganddyn nhw potensial i symud ymlaen o fewn y sector fel hyfforddwyr. He also explained to me that there's a demand in Wales for more Welsh-speaking instructors, as more schools and colleges are getting involved in outdoor pursuits with the centres. Esboniodd Owain bod yna alw yng Nghymru am fwy o hyfforddwyr sy'n siarad Cymraeg, wrth i fwy ysgolion a cholegau gymryd rhan mewn gweithgareddau Awyr Agored gyda'r canolfannau.
Is being bilingual of benefit working in the outdoors in Wales?
Very much so in Wales, yes, yeah. And so there's lots of outdoor providers of various sizes across Wales, and so being able to speak and operate bilingually is very important. Yes.
We have got a couple of the questions which have been sent through by one of the schools who are taking part today, so I'll go through some of those if that's okay now. What are the various careers possible in the outdoor leisure industry?
And so the leisure industry and the outdoor leisure industry is very big, so that could be adventure tourism all the way down to delivering in outdoor centres, from kind of multi-activity centres through to hard skill technical qualifications and teaching those. And so the spectrum is huge, and really it's what you want to make it. And so starting on those initial steps and looking at what's out there and starting your journey opens up many pathways. And once you're in it, you can get an idea of the variety of things that might be available.
How would you work up the scale? I think you've probably covered that to quite an extent, haven't you?
Okay, yeah, and as I said in the presentation, really that's about kind of ticking the boxes to begin with. There are some qualifications that you need and some experience, and so finding a route in to get those boxes ticked and start moving through the qualifications, gaining experience as you do, will help you keep moving through those.
Has there been an increase in the number of jobs available in North Wales in the outdoor leisure industry? And if so, why?
Good question. Has there been an increase? So yes, the industry is growing, and as with all industries, it has its struggles over the years and goes up and down. But it's a growing industry. More and more people are accessing the wild environments that we have in the UK and seeking adventures, and so it's a generally growing situation, which is fantastic.
How many hours do you work per day, and how many days a week?
Okay, so we at the Outbound Trust work to a 43-hour average week, but if you were running a group from Monday to Friday, for example, with an expedition overnight and evening sessions with some of those young people, then you would work over those 43 average hours, and so we give you that as time back in lieu, we call it toil time, and so it's about intense periods of work, but then you're rewarded with periods of time off afterwards to support those getting out and having adventures and building your experience and qualifications base. So certainly for Outward Bounds, it's busy when you're working and you get the rewards of periods of time off after that. Across the outdoor industry, it varies for outdoor centres. Some centres work through the evening, some might ask you to do night duties in terms of pastoral care with the young people. There's a variety of different roles.
How long did it take you to get to where you are now?
Another good question. Okay, so I've been in the industry for just over 20 years, and it's always a journey of kind of currency and continuous professional development. So getting into the industry, I was presented with lots of wonderful opportunities that I wouldn't have even known about had I not have started on that initial journey. And so actually starting with something and sticking with it started to pay off lots of benefits, which has helped me get to where I am today.
One final question. I guess you probably half answered this already. Do you enjoy your job?
Absolutely love it. Yeah, it's the best job in the world.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Is there anybody else that feels that they'd like to ask any questions at this moment in time? I'll leave it a minute or so before I end the session. I'll wait for you to use the chat box if there is anything else that you'd like to ask us. No. Just with some of the questions from Brunelli, and I've been through most of them. There are some that I've not asked because I think it was covered as part of the presentation and also the video from the Outdoor Partnership. But if you do feel that there is anything within those questions that we haven't covered, please let us know. Right, thank you for taking part in our webinar today. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope it's been informative. Like I said, there will be a recording on Careers Wales YouTube channel if you do wish to go back and have another look at it. And we will make sure that we will send out a copy of the presentation if you're happy with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. To who was it that asked for it? Eifion Owen. Na ni neud siŵr bod ni'n e-bostio hwnna i chi, Eifion. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Thank you.
Thank you.